Alex Weathersby, and this is my web series review for Kissing in the Rain. Kissing in the Rain is a TV-style web series done by Yulin Kwong, who is one of my favorite YouTube content creators. I love everything she does, so I was excited to watch this just because it's her. Anyway, it's a TV-style original series about two actors who keep ending up in scenes where they have to kiss in the rain. Most series that I've watched and reviewed tend to be literary adaptations, so I haven't really seen a ton of original work. So I just thought that this as an original concept was really smart, and that you keep putting two people in the same situation over and over, but obviously they're growing and changing, characterization and all that stuff is happening, and so I just thought this was a really smart concept, and I was really pleased with it. Another thing that I really liked was that I found the characters to be very likable and very easy to get attached to, even though you don't really see a ton of them. There's only a few episodes. I think there's maybe 6 for each couple, and so you don't really get a whole lot of time to get attached to them. This was part of an experiment in which people could write kind of fan fiction that would then be made canon. So even though you could read that and kind of ascribe more traits to them and learn more about them as people, it was very easy to get attached to them without even doing that and just going off of the very little footage and dialogue that we did see. That was a real good testament to the writing. Another thing that they did in this web series that I really liked was they used original music, and a lot of the music they use is really beautiful. Before I was a studio media and design, digital video cinema, too many acronyms, MAD, DVC. Before I was this type of major, I was a music major, so I just really love when there's really beautiful music, and the fact that it's original music made it even better. And then obviously the actress, who is Mary-Kate Wiles, who works with a lot of Yulin's projects, and the actor Sean Prasad have a lot of chemistry. They just seem very comfortable and natural with each other. You can't tell that they're acting. So the chemistry, the writing, the concept, all of that came together to work really well. Although I did get very easily attached to the characters, there was a lot of off-screen development, and so I kind of found myself wanting to see a lot more of how things changed and a lot more of how things evolved between the two. And even though there was other media that I could have gone to get that, I would have preferred getting it all in the same form of media, and that's just a personal taste. I found the second half of the series to be less enjoyable than the first. I don't know if it was the actors maybe not having seen them in other things, so I didn't already have an emotional attachment to them, or I just felt that their story wasn't as interesting as the whole hate-love sort of thing, which tends to be really popular, and I personally really like that as a concept. Could have been any number of things, but I just felt the second series wasn't as enjoyable as the first. I would watch the series if you really like original concepts that are really creative and really different, and even though they're simplistic, they're really beautiful and brilliant in terms of how they pull together a narrative. So if you're really looking for an original series, this is definitely one I would suggest you watch. If you're a big sucker for the typical rom-com plots, there's a lot represented in this series because every episode they're filming a different style of movie in which they still have to kiss in the rain. If you're a real sucker for those types of tropes, then this definitely will pander to that, so this might be a good one to watch if that's what you enjoy. And then if you personally do like transmedia series, I'm not a huge fan of them personally, but if you really do like transmedia and you like seeing people try new and creative things in terms of how creators and fans work together to kind of contribute to a series evolution, then this might be a really good one for you to watch. If you prefer a more straightforward narrative, you don't have to fill in any blanks, things are just presented to you and you just take it in, and maybe this isn't the web series for you because there are a lot of unknowns, and there is a lot that fans definitely can fill in terms of who these people are when they're offset, what their prior relationship is. If you're like me and you're not really into the transmedia to the point of where you hate it and it can really ruin a series for you, then I might not watch this series. It doesn't bother me too much, I'm just not really into it because I don't like the fact that I have to go searching on multiple platforms just to have access to a full story. So if you're like me to a much more intense degree, I would maybe skip this one. And then if you want a longer series that's a lot more complex, so you want to see what the relationship is like if it goes anywhere, you want to see something with a lot more episodes and has a lot more story depth and a lot more plot attached to it, then maybe this isn't the series for you. If it has a lot more characters, maybe an ensemble cast. If those are all things that you look for in a web series, then maybe this isn't it for you. As always, like, comment, and subscribe, especially if you have things that you agree or disagree with. And if you have a web series that you think I should watch and review, definitely mention it in the comments. Evolution. Evolution, that's the word. Oh my gosh.